Alright guys, little update. It's the next day, and all the panels are still where I put them. I'll go grab them. Actually, panel number 1's the one I'm going to start with. Remember, panel number 1 was the one that I put ospho on and I just wiped it off. I didn't rinse it, nothing, so it should still have a little bit of ospho on it. Carrie made a comment earlier this afternoon that this metal needs to be etched with at least 80 grit, 100 grit, which the tech sheets say that. So I don't think it'll change anything, that as far as it'll actually probably help the stuff adhere better, obviously. But so I'm going to go ahead and on this one, because this was the one that if one was going to fail, it would have been this one. I'm going to go ahead and 80 grit this so it has 80 grit scratch in it to give it as much chance as possible for success. Then I'm going to put ospho back on it and let it sit for a little bit, and then I'll just wipe it off again like I did yesterday. So now I still have a ospho, leftover ospho on it, but it'll just have some 80 grit scratch in it. So that's what I'm going to do now. New gloves, brand new 80 grit paper. Of course, again, I forgot to turn my compressor back on, so I'm going to turn my compressor back on. And I'll change this paper because I don't want to use the same paper that had ospho on it for the other ones. I'm trying to be real careful. Alright. Put a little bit of tooth on this one. Alright. That's got a nice little tooth on it now. One thing I am going to do with all of these before I do the test is do wax and grease remover one more time after I'm done to get anything else off, except for this one, because this one's going to have the ospho, and I'm afraid that wax and grease remover will wash any residual off, and that would defeat the purpose. So, and I'm wearing this deal, so hopefully it's not too hard to hear me. So there you go, 80 grit scratch. I'm going to do this to all of them, and again, this one here, I'm going to go ahead and put the ospho back on it. As a matter of fact, I may go ahead and wax and grease this one real quick and then put the ospho. That way there's no residual shit on this one. So I'll do that real quick and let it sit. Then I'll put ospho back on it. Make sure we get all the stuff off of it. And you can see That's pretty dirty from just what I did to it, so probably a good thing I did this with this wax and grease remover. That way there's no question whether this was dirty. When I looked that stuff up, it is an alcohol mix of some sort on that waterborne wax and grease remover. So that explains why it smells like alcohol. Alright, so that's clean. I'm going to set that aside for a little bit and let this, I'm going to blow this off again real quick. I'm going to set this aside for about 30 minutes and I'm going to put the ospho back on it. But while I'm waiting, I'll go ahead and 80 grit the other pieces. This is panel number 2. This is the one that should be clean. We rinsed this one, did the whole deal. So I should just be able to put a new piece of 80 grit paper on here. And go to town. Again, I'll clean it, wax and grease remover again after I'm done. Same deal. The guy who worked for at the body shop would have said, "Stop tipping your DA." Of course, that's not on bare metal. He meant on Bondo. You're not supposed to tip your DA and make your stuff all wavy. So, all right, so that one's clean. You can see it's nice, shiny metal. Looks beautiful. So again, I'll do the same thing here. Clean this off and set it aside for. I'm waiting for it to heat up to where it gets closer to 70 degrees. The tech sheet says that epoxy needs to be at least 65 degrees to spray it, otherwise you could possibly have failure. So again, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that that's not the case and then we have any kind of failure. So give it every chance I can give it. Smells like a doctor's office in here. This alcohol. Feels like I'm getting ready to get a shot or something. Alright, panel number 2, nice and clean. Back over here. Panel number 3, same deal. Give it a tooth. probably have to edit that part out because she's gonna throw a fit. That was my wife, by the way, with no makeup on and just got out of bed. So, yeah, she won't be happy if that gets on YouTube. So, we'll see what happens. Alright, nice and 80'd up. The only drawback about these little guys is you can't just set them down because the hose will pull them over, and it's not good for them to hit the concrete floor. Believe me, it's happened several times. I need to make a little rack for them or something so I don't have to keep popping them on and off. Alright, that right there is why you always want to clean your metal after you sand it. And obviously I'm talking to the guys who are brand new at this type deal. Not the guys who've been doing it for years. So, you guys already know all that. Probably know a lot more than I do. Alright. Blow her off. Let it sit. Pretty. I'm almost ready to frame those. They're so pretty. Alright. Last but not least, this is the piece that's getting no ospho. Nothing. All I'm going to do is, I've already cleaned this with wax and grease remover yesterday. So I'm just going to 80 grit all the crap off of it. Then I'll clean it again and throw it aside until I get ready to prime. Then I'll be ready to prime because this is getting nothing on it but a tooth. Like I said, no ospho's been even close to it, so should be good to go. This is why I'm wearing a mask. You can see all that crap coming off of it. Metal eats that 80 grit up quick. But hey, paper's cheap, right? Especially 3M paper. They just give it away. This has still got some stuff on it. I'm going to grab a wire wheel and kind of hit it with the wire wheel. Better yet, I think I'll hit it with that stripping disc that I had. There we go. We'll use this again. Clean her up good. Alright, don't know what grit that is, don't really care. I'm going to run back over it with the 80 grit sandpaper anyway. Looks like a pretty good tooth though. Grab some fresh paper towel. Alright, I would not be scared to eat off that. It's probably cleaner than any of the dishes I have in my house, especially with alcohol. It's killed every germ there could possibly be on it. So, but I'm not going to, because that would screw up our test. Don't mind my sense of humor. Alright, there you have it. All the pieces are clean, shiny, got a tooth, so we're giving it every possibility. Thanks, Carrie, for the heads up. I wasn't even thinking about this part of it, so yeah, that'll give the epoxy every opportunity. And again, I'll apply the ospho back to the first one. That way they'll have some residual there. If it's going to let loose, it'll let loose on that one. The rest of these should fly just fine though. Alright, I'll bring you back when we start priming. See ya. Hey guys. Alright, this is the #1 panel that I was going to put ospho back on. You can probably barely see the little one up there, but it's there, believe me. So, this has been cleaned and all that with wax and grease. It's sat for at least an hour because I've been hooking up my gun cleaner. You can see over here. I'm going to use it for the first time, see how good it works. I think I've got a little leak, but hopefully that's not that big a deal. So
something I can fix. Anyway, so I'm going to spray some of this ospho back on here. I'm going to let it sit and reactivate it for, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes or whatever. I got to mix up. Actually, I probably let it, I don't want to let it dry on there. Actually, I don't care. I probably will. And then I'll just wipe the residue off, because like I said, this is the one that's we're really going to see what happens. So, but yeah, I got to mix up my epoxy, and it's got a 30-minute induction time. So I'm going to do that, and so for 30 minutes it can sit here, and then I'll come back and wipe, you know, any residual crap off of it, and then we'll get to priming. So I'll bring you back when we start getting ready to prime. Alright, I'm going to mix this epoxy up. It says to, hopefully you can hear me, it says to stir it up real good because the stuff settles at the bottom, so, and that's exactly what the case is here. So I'm going to stir this stuff up real good. It's a 1-to-1, so pretty hard to screw that up, I think. I'm gonna make just a little bit of it. I'm not gonna need that much. It says spray 2 wet coats, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'll spray the first one, let it flash, and then come back and spray the second one. It's 70 plus degrees in here. 70 plus degrees in here. Yeah, this is going to take a little bit to stir this up, so, because it's thick. It's been sitting for a while, so I'll bring you back when I get it all stirred up, start straining it out and all that. Alright, I got it mixed up. You can see there, it's the bottoms, there's nothing on the bottom. Got it all out. Anyway, it's a nice consistency. So we're ready to mix it up. I'm going to put it in a cup there and let it induce for 30 minutes. And like I said, it's 1-to-1. I'm just going to make a couple of parts probably. Just enough to do those. I don't want to waste any of this, you know, just more than I have to do this test. So anyway, I'll bring you back when I get everything mixed up and everything. Alright, there it is. All mixed up, and it's inducing. I just finished doing it. Looks like it's 2:09, so 30 minutes from now it'll be ready to spray. Got my heater on up here. It's kicked down onto these parts. Here's my parts. I got my cheap spray gun out. You know, I knew that was cheap. I think I still paid $30+ for it, but putting it together, man, you can really tell they're pretty junky. And I cleaned that out real good, lacquer thinner and everything, to get anything that, you know, they ship those, they put some kind of something in there to protect them. So cleaned that out. There's that panel over there still, it's still wet, and I'm getting ready to wipe that off. So stick with me on this one here, and wipe this little panel off real good. This is the one I'm leaving the ospho on. All I'm doing is going to wipe that off. And I know I'm repeating myself, but so yeah, you can see it's still nice and wet. So just going to kind of do a quick once over on this, wipe it off good. I'm not touching it with my hands, just touching with a rag. So I know this is overkill. Nobody, there ain't no parent in the world probably goes through this kind of stuff, but whatever. Alright, so that's going to have a residual on it. Again, it's going to sit for 30 minutes, just like that. And I'm going to take it back over there to that table. And let me get some gloves. I don't want to touch it. And I got to get it off this rag, so. All right. There you go. You can see, like I said, get under the light here. Those panels turned out really, really nice. Like I said, there's pitting in there, but that's all that is. I mean, it's not. There's no rust left on it. Anyway, okay, so this is the one with the ospho. These have all been osphoed and cleaned with wax and grease remover and rinse with water. And then this one here is the one that was not done anything but 80 gritted. So looks like my battery's getting ready to die again. These batteries suck in this camera. Real quick, hopefully, before the batteries dies on me. $75 degrees. 76, 77 degrees. 76 degrees. 77 degrees. These panels, like I said, are right in front of my heater. It's blowing down hot air on here. So we've got this at about the most perfect temperature you could want. So there shouldn't be any reason that we have any questions about whether, you know, well, it's too cold or whatever. So anyway, I'll bring you back when we start spraying. I may try to set the camera up maybe over here, since the air is blowing that direction. I may set it up from this side. That way I don't get any overspray, because it'll be pushing it back across the shop. I was gonna open up that, turn on that fan and let it suck through, but I've got it all boarded up because it's cold and everything, and I'll probably just kick that back door open once I'm done and let it kind of clear out, and then close shop back up. I'll probably take these in the house. Once they flash, I'll take them in the house overnight. That way I'm sure that they stay nice and warm, because I'm not going to run this heater in here 70 degrees all night long. So I'll just take them in the house and set them somewhere, and they'll be ready to put some filler on tomorrow. So, all right, I'll get back with you here in a little bit. All right, there we go. It's 2:09. It's 2:53. It's a little low. That's more than 30 minutes, but hey, it's plenty inducted. Gonna run a tack cloth over these, clean them up, and load this gun up and get after it. All right, here we go. Gonna be close. I didn't make very much up, but hopefully I can get another wet coat on there. We'll see. I'm gonna let that flash. Let that flash for a few minutes. And we'll see what happens. Another thing I was going to tell you, that gun, they said it's between 15 and 43 PSI is what they want you to run it. So, give me a big window, please. I don't know that I've seen a window like that. Maybe they're all that way, I don't know. But like my wattage, you're supposed to shoot them between 16 and 20 or something like that. I mean, it's a pretty small window. That's a huge window. They pretty much might as well just say, do whatever you want. So, and that may be what they're saying. looks like I got some fish eyes. And I don't know why, except for maybe the gun. You know, like it even says in the deal, they put some, I don't know if it's Cosmoline or what they put in there. I cleaned it out with lacquer thinner, but you know, that's what you get. Freaking cheap gun. So you guys watch me clean them, so there wasn't no oil or anything like that. And I could see the one with the acid on it. I could see that one maybe doing some crazy stuff, but actually that one, I mean, it's got some, but not too bad. I guess they all got a few of them, but anyway, I'm going to shoot a second coat on there and I'm going to let it cure out and continue on, because at this point, it is what it is. So, all right, I'll bring you back. I already want you to let that flash for 30 minutes, so I'm going to do just that. I emptied my gun back out, cleaned it out a little bit. I didn't go full blown, take it apart or nothing. But I sprayed some thinner in it and cleaned it out a little bit and put the primer back in the cup. So that primer's good for what did it say? 48 to 72? I don't have to read it again, but it's several days. But anyway, we'll let that flash for 30 minutes, come back. I'm going to spray my second coat, and then we'll let it sit overnight and carry on tomorrow. A little frustrated about the fish eyes, but like I said, it is what it is. It's just a test, so I'd rather have problems now than on the car, so I'll get that worked out. Could be some stuff in my lines, could have been the gun. Who knows? It is what it is, like I said. So, alright, see you guys. Alright guys, here we go, second coat. Hopefully I got enough material left, because there's not a whole lot there, but we'll see. Well, we got her done. Alright, let me back up here. So open the doors, let a little airflow through. Just kind of clean it out in here a little bit. Let me, well, I'll let you just see as best I can here. You can see all those little fish eyes. And they're all the panels are about the same as far as those go. So I have some contaminants somewhere in my system, which, you know, not a painter, hadn't set up for that yet. Got my compressor here, got my air hose running, and it's just a rubber line. Okay, so, you know, I just run air tools and stuff off of it. Runs over to this little guy right here. That's a moisture separator, but it's not a very good one. It is what is on that. Then it runs up here and runs up to that reel. Okay, then comes out to my air, which on the gun I've got one of those air dryer filter dryer deals and all that, which, you know. But what I'm trying to get at is I'm not set up yet for painting like this. So once I get this in, once I get the shop sheetrock drywalled, I'm going to buy that pipe that I can run up the walls and run over, and I'm going to get a 3-stage filter dryer system that takes out the oil and all that, and I'll stop using all these rubber hoses running everywhere, because this is not good. This is not a good setup for painting, obviously. And again, it could have been the cheap gun. It could be something in here in the lines. It's hard to say. But so yeah, a little frustrated and disappointed on that. But I was hoping that'd lay down like glass. But I'm still going to continue and see. And you know, if it adheres with that and with the contamination and everything else, then hey, we'll know it's amazing stuff. This is the one that had the ospho left on it, and you know, it's about the same as all the other ones. This one here had nothing. That's the one that had the we just mechanically gave it a tooth. So, and it's as bad or if not worse than the rest of them. So that's so that also is not making that that issue, which obviously it's not a oil or, you know, contaminant like that, so I wouldn't expect it would cause that issue. But hopefully we can still find out if it's going to adhere right and all that. So I'll let that sit up for 24 hours and come back out and put some filler on it. So let me know what you guys think. And again, you know, I mean, fish eye has been a painter's worst enemy since the beginning of time. So, and I, you know, like I said, I'm not a professional painter. This is shop set up to do body work and work on cars and whatever else. I mean, hell, who knows? I've got this big lift here. It's run by hydraulics. Could be some hydraulic residue in here or something that's causing, you know, some issues. So, yeah, I'll have to figure it out. Like I said, once I get all my new lines up, filter dryer system, the whole deal, new hoses, and then I spray and this happens, then I'm gonna be, you know, then I'm gonna have a problem. But at this point, I mean, I'm just not really set up for, obviously, painting professionally anyway. So anyway, I'm rambling again. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll upload this video and tell me what you guys think, and any suggestions and, you know, comments, I appreciate them. And I'll talk to you guys. I'll load you back up tomorrow. We'll put some filler on these. That'll be pretty boring, and then that'll pretty much be it for a week. And then after a week, we'll come back and see what happens. So, all right, talk to you guys later. Have a good one. All right, another real quick. Forgot my little paint washer here. I was gonna see how it worked and bring you guys along for that. Bought one of these little guys here to put some lacquer thinner in. I just spray it through until it runs out fairly clean. That way I don't have to dump all that nasty stuff into my system, and that way I can keep my lacquer thinner as clean as possible. So, you know, you can see there it's coming out pretty clean already. So, just a heads up on that. And then, of course, I disassembled the gun, and you guys know how to do all that. So, little filter deal. I'm thinking this is still going to leak pretty good, so I'm not going to run it until I just absolutely am ready to go for it. So, take your needle out. Don't lose your spring. That'd be a pain in the butt. Needle. And take your tip off. That barely fits it. I don't know. Like I said, this is a cheap gun. I'm really against this. And look here. I don't know what. And I cleaned this, but that's. I don't know if that's some kind of. It's like some kind of rubbery crap. Like they put on the threads to, you know, to seal the threads, and I cleaned that with lacquer thinner, but it's actually a rubbery stuff, and that's just not going to cut it. That's crap. That may be my problem right there. Yeah, now like I said, I paid about 35 bucks for this gun, so kind of pisses me off a bit. And I bought it from a paint shop, so I thought I was getting a little better quality than Harbor Freight, but obviously that's not the case. I'm sure China sells them to everybody and they just mark them, put their names on them or whatever. So, alright, I'm going to plug this in and get it running a little bit. Once I hear it start coming up, that's when I stop. There it goes. Or not. There we go. You guys see that? Pretty good little string. Probably way more than I need. But yeah. Kind of give you an idea how good this little guy's going to work. All the other parts are actually, that'll work good for that. I'm going to back this off because I don't need that to fill up. Little brush. Got a whole tank full right there now. So, clean that out good. Clean this out. You can hear the stuff running down the other tank. See? Now, that's what I was talking about. Let me pull you over here. See that running out? And it's running out right there at that fitting. It's just pulling, because that's a pressure pot, so it's pressured up pretty good. And you can see that lacquer thinner's eating that paint right off there. But anyway, I'm going to back that off. Obviously, I'm going to have to figure out another different fitting or something for that, because, yeah, thinner's not cheap either. So, take that off and get that pressure off there. Anyway, you can kind of see all my parts are down in there. As soon as I'm done, I pop that little ball up and it just drains it right back into this bucket. So I think once I get all the little bugs worked out, it'll work fine. But right now that's obviously an issue for me, so anyway. Alright, so that's it. I'm gonna finish cleaning this gun up, put it back together, try to figure out what the heck that rubber crap is. Man, that's just crap. Like I said, it's almost like pipe dope, you know, that you'd put on a pipe to seal the threads from leaks. But my high dollar guns don't have that crap on there, so if you guys know what that is or why, you let me know, because if I need to, I'll throw this damn gun in the trash and go buy me a good one, because, you know, I know a lot of guys use cheap paint guns for primer, but as little as I use them, I could get away with buying a good one and cleaning them up real good. And, you know, it's not like I'm using them every day like a collision shop does. I'm going to let the pressure off of this so it'll stop draining everywhere. Yeah, that kind of sucks. But we'll figure it out. Alright, you guys have a good one.